Impressionism with markers. This is the second step of doing our Impressionist art. Now, this is going to be the base of our colors. I have my 3 of them. So we have our water or seascape, we have our landscape or our forest, and we also have the space that we're going to use for our flower garden or our flowers. Now, regular markers, all of our different colors. Here's what we need to remember. Just like when we looked up close at the Impressionist art, they had lots of different lines of colors. We are going to add all of them and then spray ours. Now, we've done this before. We've sprayed our artwork, and the longer we let them sit with the water, the less we see the specific colors we've added. So we're gonna see how it all kind of runs together and blends in, and it will give us our color base for what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me see if I start with my water. One direction. Notice how I'm just doing lots of different lines of the color to kind of get it filled in. This could work for the sky as well as the water. Now, let's see, come in. We know water, like we talked about with the chalk, is not always just blue, just like our sky is not always just blue. Maybe it's evening, maybe it's starting to get darker. Even come in with some of the other ones that I have and maybe scribble some. Not necessarily coloring in, but just some scribbles. So our abstract art gives us a feeling of what's there. Maybe we have a lake. Maybe it's the ocean. We have lots and lots of colors that we are adding. So when we spray, all of those colors will blend in and bleed together. So I'm going to turn it this way so I have room to work. I'm going to use my spray bottle. We could do the same with a paintbrush. We can even pour a little water on top and rub it around with our hands. All of those work. Going to give it a good coat. We even do it now if we wanted to lightly, because if we rub too hard, getting it to lay down flatter, we know we're going to get those little bits of paper because the water will break down our paper. So we just want to go ahead and spray it and leave it. Let's see what's next. Maybe my forest or my landscape. I'm doing my forest. I want lots and lots of trees, or maybe fuzz different directions with my green. Maybe trees have some darker spaces. Blue, maybe they have some lighter spaces. Maybe some other greens. Let's see, maybe some of the trees have some flowers. juice or maybe some fruit. Not jamming my marker super hard because I know it's all gonna kind of mix in together and I need to be gentle. So this kind of seems silly all over the place, but I think it's gonna work well. So let's go ahead and spray this down and see what happens. I'm going to do something a little bit different with my flower garden. I'm actually going to make some flowers and we're going to see what happens this way. So if I do this, give myself some stems. Notice how I'm being really rough with how I'm drawing them. I'm not doing a lot of detail. I'm going to scribble in without really worrying about it looking necessarily like a flower. I'm going to do them over and over and over and over again because once I'm done with these, I will go ahead and make more stems and do the same thing. Keep moving over a little bit because this whole space is wet from all of my other flowers. So let me turn it around so maybe we can see this side. Oh, more stems. Notice how I'm just drawing over top. We are generally really careful about overlapping and not drawing over top of where we've already drawn, except not today. We are going to draw wherever. I'm going to draw my flowers however. Let's do some circles. Just sort of all over the place. Filled in. Okay. So now this one, I'm going to spray it and then I'm going to leave it. These, we need to leave a lot longer than our chalk ones. Our chalk ones, we just needed to let them dry enough where they weren't drippy and we wanted to pick them up before they stuck to the table. These, we want all of these colors that we have that are moving around together to soak in and move around. So we want them to sit in their puddles for quite a while. We are going to move them before they dry completely. Otherwise, they'll be stuck to the table. So I'm going to give them all one more really good spray. And then that's it. So here are the bases for our Impressionist art. Next time, we're going to look at them when they are all completely dry and look at how we can draw in our details to make our Impressionist artwork. All right, guys, have fun experimenting.